Guys, Caleb here, and today I'm going to be reviewing set 75257 LEGO Star Wars Millennium Falcon. This set has 1,351 pieces and will retail you for $160 in the United States. Let's go to the minifigs. The first minifigure included is Lando Calrissian, and he looks really cool. I like how they made him look really old, but they're sticking with like the yellow torso that I really like. I kind of wish we got a little bit of leg printing, but it's not the biggest deal. I really like his cape, how it goes down there, and how it even has like a separate neck cape like that. Looks very cool. He's got like a blaster, which looks pretty neat, and a little cane for him to walk with. And this is a really good figure. I like him. The second face is a more stern look, and I also really do like this expression. He looks a bit ticked off at something, and I like it. Next minifigure up is Chewbacca, and he's pretty much your standard run-of-the-mill Chewbacca. He's pretty cool. I really like the headpiece he's got that's, separate, and you can just kind of attach that on. My favorite part is his bowcaster, which is really awesome and actually shoots a stud pretty hard, and I've never actually had a bowcaster like that, so that's really neat to get, and honestly a really good figure. We have C-3PO, and this looks really good. I've never actually owned a C-3PO minifigure, but he actually looks really good. I like this really sweet gold coloring, really nice torso print. Love that we got some leg printing here, and back print's nice. And overall, just a really good representation of what C-3PO looks like. I feel like I'm kind of surprised that over the 8 years of collecting, I've never actually got a C-3PO minifigure, but now we do own a C-3PO minifigure, and I'm pretty happy how he turned out. I like him. The fourth figure included is Finn, and he looks really good. I'm also surprised that I've never actually owned a Finn minifigure either, so this is our first Finn, and he actually looks really good. I like his new hairpiece that's new. He's probably my favorite figure in the set, really. He's got really nice printing on the legs with the belt and the bowcaster for his blaster. I really love this chest printing. It just looks incredible. So much detail, even a bit of back printing, but he's got this really cool satchel on and a blaster, and just looks like he's having a good time. I really like Finn. And this second expression is a more scared expression. I also really do like this expression, like he's about to crash or something. I really like that one. Then we get to the exclusive Bulio minifigure, who's very interesting. You do not remember him really at all from The Rise of Skywalker, but I really like his chest and leg printing, how it all flows together very nicely. The back printing is also very neat. Really interesting and unique headpiece that's really cool. It's almost like rubber horns, really. It feels very odd in your hands, but honestly a really cool figure to get, very exclusive and very original that I really like. And then we get an R2-D2 minifigure, and he's just, an R2-D2, another one. He comes in so many Star Wars sets every year, that's almost numb to be getting him. I will notice that on his head print, the line on the bottom is pretty uncrooked. See, it bends down a lot here, goes back up and bends down, and it's really uneven, which is a shame. You can see it's a lot closer to the stud here than up there, and very uneven. So that's very unfortunate to see. This is probably my least favorite minifigure just because of that. It's just kind of weird printing, and I don't know, that's R2-D2 for you. And then we have the absolutely tiny Dio figure, and this is very cool to say. I've never gotten a Dio either, and it looks very good. I love the shaping and exclusive mold for him. Really nice printing, even a little stud on the back. And it's just such a cool representation of, this little droid on this wheel, and a really interesting droid figure that I really like. I know it came in the big buildable Dio figure and in the Y-Wing, but I hope we get it in some more sets, because this is a really neat figure. And here's what you have all been waiting for, the massive Millennium Falcon. And it looks really good right off the bat. I will say it's my brother's set. He bought it with some of his Christmas/birthday money, and I'm really happy how it looks here. I guess we'll start at the cockpit. You can pretty much pop it off, wiggle it off really easily, and you can fit two figures and Dio in there, and it is pretty cramped, but it does its job, and it does job very well. I really like how it looks. And then once you want to wiggle it on, you can literally just press it on the two studs down there, and it fits on really, really well. You can just see him kind of piloting in there, and I feel like lots of the scenes in Star Wars take place inside of the cockpit, not in the rest of the Falcon. So a lot of the scenes in the Millennium Falcon take place in the cockpit, and I think they did a very, very good job with the cockpit. It looks very, very nice. To get to the rest of the Falcon, I just want to look at more of the outside details. Around here, you actually have 2 holes with spring-loaded shooters that are very, very well hidden. You just stick your hand there, and they shoot out just like that. Very, very fast, very, very strong, but very, very nice. They're very well hidden, and I really, really like how it looks. These 2 are just empty, but these 2 you can press into, and the stud shooters launch out. This is kind of the, like, loading bay there, and then you have a bunch of detail and greebling along the outside of here. Maybe my favorite part of the outside is this section of the hallway leading to the Millennium Falcon. There really is no hallway on this model, but they made it look like there's really a hallway leading to the cockpit, just like in the real Falcon. And I think that's very, very cool with a bunch of stickers, but it makes it look very, very nice. Lots and lots of greebling and little details along the outside of it that make it very, very nice. You have a satellite dish here, which can rotate around. That definitely looks pretty good. I kind of wish we got like a bit of detail on the inside of it, but it definitely looks pretty good. You have some ventilation here and a bit here. You do have a turret on top that can spin around pretty well. It unfortunately snaps off pretty easily, so I do think that is a pretty big problem with the turret, is it just kind of easily snaps off like that. So I feel like they could have made the turret a bit more steady, but I think it does its job pretty well for now. On the back, you actually have paint rollers used as more greebling. Like, really, really cool part usages here. You have these really interesting stickers that make up, the 6 holes sort of on the back of it that make it look really, really good. On the back, you have these really, really cool thrusters. I think they did an incredible job making it look very, very smooth with these pipes along the outside of it, and it just flows very nicely. The thrusters make it look so very good. And that's about it to the exterior. You have some things on the side which end up looking pretty good, but it's a very, very good looking model from the outside. I will say it's definitely a lot bigger than I was expecting it. I did not expect it to be this big. Like, this thing is a very, very big Lego set and is going to take up a lot of room on our shelves. Now, in order to access the interior, they actually make it very, very easily. Obviously, you can pop off, the hood here, but to open it all up, first you actually just take this back, folds back very, very smoothly into the front. It almost reminds me of like the Solo Falcon, the way this is, which is pretty cool. And then you can literally just pull up these 5 panels here very, very easily. Very easy to do. And obviously, you're not going to display it open like this, right? That'd be a little ridiculous, but it's very, very easy, just to open up the inside of it, which is nice. And I will say, before we get too in-depth with, like, the interior of it, has one of the greatest interiors of any Lego Star Wars set. There's so much room to walk around, like, everywhere. Lots of Lego Star Wars sets don't have a lot of room to actually place the figures and have them walking around, and this fixes that problem. This has tons of space for your minifigures and little details and everything. So this has a ton of space inside the Falcon, which is very, very good to see. Over here we have a chair that it's on like a thing so it can spin around. You have some more controls or something over there. This chair almost reminds me of like a PewDiePie chair, which is actually pretty cool. So you got the controls and then the chair to control it. I think it is a little bit oversized, but I think it's alright. Right of the controls, you have the hollow chest table, which is very, very cool. I love the seats here. This one does wiggle around just a little bit, which is a bit of a shame, but it's a really interesting use. This hollow chest table is actually the Captain American shield, but with pretty much a hollow chest print on it. So that's very, very interesting how they made it, and I really, really like how this little section turned out. They play a lot of hollow chests in Star Wars, and they did a good job representing it. I really like it. Over here we have 2 beds, which actually turned out pretty cool. We have Woolia sleeping over here, and Lando is a little ticked off that he's sleeping. We have almost an engine, or like a hyperdrive ring, which is really, really cool to see. Over here you actually have a smuggling compartment where you can actually pry this up and fit like a droid or something inside. I kind of wish you could fit like minifigures, but this is also pretty sturdy in there. It's definitely not coming out, and you can just push that back down and have them smuggle stuff in the Falcon. Here we have C-3PO and Dio. We also have a crate with a really cool like wire running underneath that. I really like how this looks. And then we have a kitchen, which is very interesting. There has never really been a kitchen shown in the Millennium Falcon, and I think they just had a bit of space that they needed to kill, so they added a kitchen in. I do think it's a little odd how, there's a coffee pot and an oven. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I guess it's a cool little feature, and I'm sure kids will like it. It's just a little bit odd having a kitchen in the Millennium Falcon. I don't know. Behind that, there is actually a loading ramp where you can literally just press down, and it's literally a loading ramp underneath of it. It's not very practical. It's just, a little detail where you could have figures, pretending to walk up the ramp and load stuff in, but it's a nice little way to actually get inside the Millennium Falcon, right? Like, I kind of like how they include. One last little detail of the set is that you can actually pretty loosely pull this up, and then we get to the turret, which is very cool. You can actually just pull this out. You can have Finn and Bulio back to back with the controls, and you literally can just drop it in there, and they fit in very well. Oh no, Bulio won't actually fit with his horns, so I guess we have to take Bulio out for them to fit. But yeah, once you take Bulio out, Finn fits down there. There's actually a turret on the underside of it, but I guess you could have two people controlling the turret, which is very neat. Of course, the turret piece actually fell off again. This thing will not stay on, which is a pretty big problem, but I do really like how they actually included the inside of the turret like that. The Falcon has actually more detail than you might expect. There is a turret down here that does not pop off as easily as the last one, which is very nice. You can wiggle this around, and there's four like good stuck in their landing gear, and you can actually, they don't retract or anything, which is fine, but they do its job of keeping the Falcon off the ground, and overall it looks pretty good on the bottom. Honestly, I really like how it looks on the bottom. So at the end of the day, should you buy the Lego Star Wars Millennium Falcon? I would say heck yes, go for it. This set really is surprisingly bigger than you might be expecting it to be, and has really a really interesting and very cool interior. It is a really good set, however, it does have a few flaws. Like, this thing just will not stay on for the love of me, and that's kind of unfortunate. I definitely think it's missing a Han Solo minifigure. I know he wasn't around then, but it's just the first Millennium Falcon to never have a Han Solo minifigure, and that's a little bit sad, but it does have an excellent minifigure selection. I really like Dio, really like Lando, really like Finn, really like Blue. I really like everybody in this set, and has really such a great interior, and is definitely maybe the best like play scale Millennium Falcon yet. This set is really incredible. It kind of has a bad price per piece with 1,351 pieces for $160, but I'm really happy how this turned out. I'm really glad he bought it. I wasn't really excited for him to buy it, but he bought it and he let me review it, so shout out to Sam. Thanks for letting me review your set. And this is Seabreak Productions sign off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe, or dislike too if you really didn't like this review. Go ahead. And I will see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.